Welcome, my 24 subscribers, everyone on Wrestling Reddit, and anyone who should have won that Battle Royal instead of Kyle O'Reilly. This is my sick review of the June 8th, 2022 edition of AEW Dynamite. Let's begin. Okay, so first match is the Battle Royal, and you know what? This was just like average. I'm done with Battle Royals. So this was average. This was an average Battle Royal with some botches because there was one in this shot right here where they counted it down but no one came out. It just said like join the Dark Order, and the people came out when Keith Lee eliminated Lance Archer in like a cool way, but this was a total botch. The people in the crowd were like anticipating people to come out but no one did. And then Lance Archer was eliminated second. Tony Nese was first, both by Keith Lee, and I kind of don't like eliminating Archer this early. He should have lasted near the end. And yeah, the people here who came out looking the best, aside from the winner, who is Kyle O'Reilly, is Keith Lee. He had 4 eliminations, and I think that's the most. He also had one of the most impressive, although not the most impressive one. And then we have Swerve, who effectively turned heel, eliminating Keith Lee and Darby Allin, like 2 of his friends. And I like it how it's just friendship over. Swerve just cut ties with both Darby and Keith. And his elimination of Darby was fucking awesome. He just threw him off the corner, off the side of the turnbuckle, like a little bit to the right, threw him off, and God knows how Darby landed. It wasn't pretty. And then we have Starks and Hobbs. They looked really good because they're the heel team of like the previous match, like the 3-way match. But they're a stronger, more cohesive team than Keith and Swerve. They didn't like betray each other. They like hugged it out a couple of times, but sadly they were eliminated by other wrestlers. Another guy who looked really good was Wheeler Yuta. Holy fucking shit. This guy eliminated Jake Hager and Powerhouse Hobbs in like surprising fashions. They were both protected because like they were completely unaware that Wheeler like was trying to eliminate them. But yeah. And he was like the last to be eliminated before Kyle won. So yeah. Wheeler looked really good, and Ray Fenix, the bar is too high. He had some cool eliminations, but on some weak people. And then Andrade should have won. Like, I really wanted Andrade to win since that would have made the main event like a lot more unpredictable, but he didn't. He did have 2 awesome eliminations though. One was to the dastardly Swerve Strickland. He booted him out. And like near the end, he like low blowed the shit out of Ray Fenix. It killed all of like his little Fenixes. And like he threw him out after. This was like one of the best low blows I've ever seen. And is the spot of the match. So last 4 was Andrade, Ray Fenix, Wheeler Yuta, and Kyle O'Reilly. I already mentioned how Fenix was eliminated. He was like low blowed into oblivion. And then how Andrade was eliminated like wasn't completely his fault. He was like catapulted out. Wheeler used Kyle's body in order to get enough power to catapult the shit out of Andrade. So yeah. And then O'Reilly eliminated Wheeler by doing a dragon screw. This left him vulnerable on the ropes, and then he booted him out. And the way Wheeler fell out, it was a bit dangerous. It looked a bit dangerous here. He could have broken something, but it was alright. So yeah, like I said earlier, this was an average battle royal. The wrong man won. It shouldn't have been Kyle. Tony Khan has like a fixation on this dude. He offered him like a new contract. But he's not like a main eventer. Andrade is the main eventer. He should have been in the main event where he could have made the result of that a lot more like unpredictable. This match also had a distinct lack of stars. We get some explanations later. But for the others, it's just like left for us to like research on our own. Alright, so I'm feeling a lot better now. It's been like hours since I last recorded, and holy shit, fever's gone. Throat still hurts, but I'm feeling a lot better now, so finally. I'm gonna talk about the next segment. Holy shit. Okay, so the next segment is the Moxley promo backstage. This is Jon Moxley cutting a promo. You're paying him 6 million. You know what you're gonna get. He's good at promos. This promo here basically is just him telling Kyle O'Reilly that I'm gonna win later in a longer way. But it's a nice way of saying it. He said that the Forbidden Door belongs to him. Typical entitled ex-WWE guy, just joking. But yeah, it's a great promo. But the problem here, and same as the rest of the show, the audio is a bit bad. Like, the audio problems that AEW had the whole show affected its debuts. It affected its matches. It made it seem that the matches were like dead. And in the backstage segments like this one, it made AEW look a lot more Bush League than the WWE because yeah, you can't be having these sound problems ever. I don't know if it's the AEW sound team. I don't know if it's a team or like it's the stadium itself, but Mox's audio here sounded really bad, and the people in the chat in the fight chats noticed it also. So yeah, great promo, but the technical difficulties in this promo let it down. And then after this, in the fight broadcast, there are breaks. Like we get parts where we just see the AEW logo, and for this show, we get to hear Justin Roberts reading out signs in the crowd. This was so funny. Someone named Luke got over, and I'm glad that he acknowledged this when we got to the next commercial break. I mean, AEW should do this like all the time. It's something that can make them unique. It's something that can make the fight broadcast unique. But the problem is if you do this too much, and I mean, the magic gets taken away if like Justin Roberts knew that he was live from the start. But like we'll see going forward, they might address this already. And yeah, this is no big deal. Okay, so after this we get the presentation of the All Atlantic Championship. And you know what? We get 6 flags on this. No pun intended. We get 6 flags on this championship. We have Mexico, China, Great Britain, the USA, Canada, and Japan. You know what? This is like weird. Because, fuck, come on. China and Japan do not touch the Atlantic Ocean. I'm gonna show you a map of the world, but yeah. What the fuck? China and Japan are not Atlantic Ocean countries. They're like Pacific. They're on the west side, on the side of California. So this title is weird. And looking at the bracket, you have a dude from the Netherlands, a dude from Bulgaria, someone from Australia. I think Buddy's from Australia, and their flags are not on the title. Like just have like an EU flag there or something. It's just another mid-card title. We already have like the ROH TV and the AEW TNT title, and it's kind of weird. Where the hell does this place? It's like when New Japan had 3 mid-card titles when they had the IC, the US, and the Never Openweight. Now they have like 2, and it's still weird. I mean, there are so many belts in this company right now for like a 2-hour show. And yeah, I just don't know how to feel about this title. Plus the geographically wrong like countries on the title. And you know what? AEW does not have any Chinese wrestlers. So why have China here? So yeah, just small nitpicks about the belt. Who knows if like this actually becomes successful? It depends on the title holder. My prediction is going to be Malachi Black or someone from New Japan because that would be the best case scenario. You need to push Malachi Black. It's about time. Or you could give it to someone from New Japan because, you know what? This can go either way. It's going to be a fatal 4-way. Fatal 4-way. It's going to be a 4-way match at the end, so you can protect 3 of the 4 people. Pac is here to eat the pins, in my opinion, or depending on who the New Japan guy is. And yeah, to sum up my thoughts here, AEW have too many titles. This was not the best time to bring this up. It's gonna clash with the other mid-card titles. You have only like 3 hours of wrestling every week. You're already packing in too much stuff, and that doesn't include the feuds without the belts. And plus, Tony Khan doesn't know geography, so that's a negative here. But I do like the four-way match that's like shaping up for Forbidden Door. So I guess that's the only positive here. And you have a chance to push Malachi Black with this title. So after this is the first round match between Pac and Buddy Matthews. This was a slow-paced, selling-heavy sort of match, which I didn't expect from these two. I thought this was going to be like a show stealer. I thought this was going to be like a balls to the walls action sort of match, but no, it wasn't. It was like really slow, a lot of selling, which I like. It felt like a Japanese match. They saved all of their big stuff at the end. And you know what? This is how the rest of the locker room should do their stuff. They should save their high octane stuff for like special named Dynamites, or for like the blow off match to a feud, or on the pay-per-views. Because these guys have like a bump counter, and you only have so many bumps until you're not able to do this anymore. So yeah, so the way this match was paced is that for the first 3 minutes, we get some lockups, some indie posturing, and we have like a buddies thing where he goes for a face-to-face stare down, like when his opponent tries to jump out of the ring. But it doesn't work here. Pac leaves through the other side and then denies the stare down. And what delineates the warm-up part from the intense part is where Pac throws Buddy out to the timekeeper's table, but they go to picture-in-picture on like TNT. But in fight, we still get the commentary, we still get like everything. But yeah, this was a bad time to go to commercial. And yeah, then after this, it's time for the top 3 spots of this match. Number 1 is this fireman's carry drop to the top turnbuckle and turnbuckle supports. Buddy took a bad landing here. It hurt my tailbone just to watch this. But it was an awesome spot and looks effective enough. But yeah, bad landing by Buddy. Looks cool though. Number 2 is this like draping DDT from the second rope by Pac, and I love how Buddy sells this. He like stays in position for like a couple of seconds. And for the number 1 spot of the match is the Poison Rana by Pac. He got on Buddy's shoulders by like back jumping to his head and then delivering the Poison Rana as smoothly as he can, like as close to one fluid motion as he can. And the most awkward spot of this match is this sunset flip power bomb that like stopped with Pac on his head, and then Buddy saving it by like picking him up and then delivering like a sit down Liger bomb. And so the finish is after the Poison Rana, Pac goes for the Black Arrow and then wins the match. Death Triangle then go into the ring, celebrate with Pac, and then Penta Oscuro stares down with Malachi Black for their match, I think next week. And if the wrestling gods are good, Malachi's gonna win it. So this is positioned right where it's supposed to be on the card. Based on the quality, it's like a penultimate match or a main event on TV. But based on the names and the pushes of the people in the match, it's right where it should be. It's a TV undercard match. So after this is possibly the best non-wrestling segment. It's Eddie Kingston's promo, like to hype up the match with Jake Hager on Rampage. And he went for like a work shoot promo. He talked about facing Jake Hager. He doesn't care if it's after the NBA, before the NBA, after the NHL, whatever. He referenced the ratings. He referenced the timekeeper that's counting him down. It's sort of like the MJF promo, but like to a lesser degree. But I think Eddie might be the best promo in this entire company. He doesn't need to scream a lot. He can do babyface well. He can do heel well. And just the way he talks is like so unique. He's like so New York. And my favorite part of this is when he says, "I hate you" with gritted teeth. I'm gonna post a picture, but he says it like, "I hate you," like that with fucking gritted teeth. He did like a work shoot promo that was still within the AEW storyline and didn't like leave completely like MJF. And it's like he sounds a lot more real than any of the other guys. Like MJF sounds like a showman, Jericho sounds like a showman, even Kenny Omega sounds like a showman. But Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley are like that unique breed of fucking reality style promo deliveries. So yeah, great segment. Let's move on. So after this is like Trent Beretta asking for a rematch from FTR, and as the honorable babyface Bret Hart masturbationist, they accept, but they redirect the conversation to United Empire, and then we get like on the entrance ramp the New Japan logo and then the United Empire Titantron. And honestly, I thought this was gonna be like Great Okan and Jeff Cobb. I thought they were gonna tease us again, but holy shit. When Dax, was it? When Dax said, Will Ospreay's bitch boys, I knew that Will Ospreay was in the building, and he was. Will Ospreay makes his AEW debut to like a decent pop. It wasn't like the loudest. We hear like a thunderous pop for Hangman Page, and then like I managed to like calibrate the audio in my brain. So this deserved the louder pop. It should have been in LA. But it's not the best crowd reaction, but we got like a decent enough crowd reaction for it not to be like a failure. So yeah, nice debut by Ospreay. He takes Trent out with a hidden blade after Aussie Open do their like finishing move on Trent. So the crowd reaction throughout all this, like it wasn't the loudest, but due to Ospreay's intensity and like his charisma basically, he managed to get them to cheer. So this sets up a match on Rampage between Will Ospreay and Aussie Open against Trent Beretta and FTR. So I'm looking forward to that. I just wished it was in a better venue or like in a show with like higher reach, like Dynamite instead of Rampage. So yeah, hopefully that's a good match. I'm expecting it to like be the match of the night. We'll see on Rampage. And then we get a backstage promo where the Undisputed Elite are being interviewed by Shivani while William Regal declares the end times on Kyle O'Reilly. Kyle didn't even get to talk here. He just took it. He took everything William Regal gave him. He talked after Regal left. So like from NXT to AEW, William Regal just keeps on tormenting these guys, and it's pretty funny. This actually made the match worth seeing for me because I didn't want Kyle to win. But I wanted to see him get like tormented by Regal's boys. So yeah, subtly funny stuff here. This was an okay promo. Kyle wasn't bad on the mic. Bobby Fish's non-verbal gestures were pretty funny, and Regal is always good on the mic, as well as Adam Cole. This did some nice intra-show storytelling for the main event from the first match. So after this is the interpromotional match between Adam Hangman Page and David Finlay from New Japan. And this one was 10 minutes long, and it was all storytelling. So for the first 3 minutes, Hangman does a lot of pandering to the crowd. He basically was in control of the first 3 minutes. But there's like a bad spot here. He does an outside dive, but then the back of Finlay's head crashes on like the steel guardrail. This was like pretty scary, but Finlay was alright. And then after this, Page did like the most unsanitary spot of the entire night. He drinks a fan's beer, and then after this, the fan drinks it like immediately. You've had COVID before, man. Let's not have it again. And when they got back in the ring, the match starts to shift when Finlay, based on his knowledge from the Double or Nothing main event, he targets Hangman's leg. He does like, I don't know what this is called. It's like he's holding the leg on his shoulder, and then he sort of does a drop to his knees. I don't know what this is called. And then he does like a hard shot block on Hangman's leg. And then from here on out, Hangman consistently sells his leg on defense, on offense, while still, I don't know why people hate Hangman as a wrestler, because this guy like never forgets to sell ever. And neither does Finlay, but he doesn't have any like specific injuries, but he sells a lot too. So from this point on, Finlay just like doesn't wrestle clean. He uses dirty tactics, like he uses the apron to like trap Hangman and then kick his ass. I think he realized that this was the best time to beat Hangman Page while he's injured, while he's demoralized from losing the title. And yeah, he works on Hangman's leg for the remainder of the match. He like works on it until Page needs to drop his knee pad. And I like how the commentary explained this because there's swelling there and then the knee pad is constricting the knee. So Finlay works on Hangman's leg the usual way. Nothing that spectacular except a scoop slam on the top rope where Hangman's left leg hit the top rope. That has to be my spot of the match. Number 2 is a flying crossbody by David Finlay that Hangman catches, and then he tries to do a fallaway slam but then sells his left leg, and it's transitioned instead to a pin by Finlay. And number 3 is an outside dive that Page sells like immediately as he lands. So, like seriously, they don't go for anything spectacular here. My top 3 was basically predicated on Hangman Page's selling. So the finish of the match was very Japanese. It kind of felt like how Go Shiozaki and Satoshi Kojima ended their matches in like the Dream On shows. The finish there and here was based on lariats. So let me just narrate the finish. Finlay Irish whips Page on the turnbuckle, and then Page goes for like a clothesline that David turns into a German suplex that Page counters out of. Then they both go for rolling elbows. Finlay hits his, so he runs the rope to do like a running lariat, but Page catches him in his own lariat, which sets Finlay up for the buckshot and the win. So after this, Page cuts a promo. There's some slight like audio problems, but this gets fixed right away. He explains why he wasn't in the Battle Royal, and he sort of buries it. Then he makes it clear that he's not gonna have a shot anytime soon. But instead, he wants a shot at the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. And I've been reading rumors that AEW and New Japan might switch belts, which I think is a good idea. But it's a bit of a down for New Japan since they're going to give away the IWGP Heavyweight Championship for an interim title. But it would be nice to have Tanahashi be a champion again, and this means he'll still have the match with CM Punk when he returns. And as for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship, maybe we'll have Jay White take it from Hangman, or just have like Okada take it from him. And so Adam Cole chimes in. He calls Hangman, or like he implies that this guy's presumptive, he's a dummy, he's delusional, because the IWGP title has not been decided yet. We still have like Dominion on the 12th, and Jay White can still win it. But if we get that, it's gonna be like way inferior than Hangman versus Okada. The fans are going to riot. We'll never like Adam Cole again for like ruining the dream match that we're about to get. Because if Jay White wins, he's gonna have like just 2 weeks of the title before Hangman takes it, assuming Hangman wins at Forbidden Door. And if Jay White wins at Forbidden Door, it's gonna be more predictable of a match because you can't just have like one of your top heels drop the title after 2 weeks. So Okada has to face Page. It's more unpredictable, it's gonna be a better match, and it's gonna sell more tickets. So this is my like non-wrestling segment of the match. Really good promo by Page, and we get some nice revelations, we get some build-up for Forbidden Door, and we're getting teased a dream match, basically. Because the last one that I reviewed, the Kingston promo, it's like small scale, it's like on Rampage, but he does deliver better. So yeah, this is match of the night so far, and is best non-wrestling segment so far. Holy shit. Both Hangman Page. So after this is a backstage interview where AEW finally listened to the fans and got Thunder Rosa on TV. So Rosa here is alright. She wasn't like a god-awful like that 1 week. She's making steps forward. I like how she says señorita. I like how intense she is, but she just needs to like work on it a little bit more. But the true star of this segment is Marina Shafir. Because, holy shit, when I was watching this on Fight, chat exploded when Marina started talking. She doesn't say a lot, but she says it in like the most seductive way, causing all the marks in the chat to cream their pants. So this was an alright segment that was made unintentionally funny by Marina Shafir. So next is the Wardlow promo. This is actually like two birds with one stone, explaining why Wardlow, along with Scorp, aren't in the Battle Royal. And Scorp's reason is like pretty valid. He's injured. While Wardlow, it's kind of dumb because he says he doesn't want to go for the title if CM Punk isn't the champ. So he's going to hold off for now. But if you think about it, if you win the interim title, it just makes a match against Punk like more sure. Like you're guaranteed a match against CM Punk if you manage to retain it at Forbidden Door. And yeah, this was a weird explanation, but Wardlow was okay on the mic. He has this sort of dominating voice that's like a bit high for a power dude, but it's alright. It's a nice change from the usual, like, gruff, deep voice that heels use. It kind of feels like he's making the sound pass through the roof of his mouth, and he over-enunciates words. But yeah, all in due time, this guy didn't talk for the first 3 years he was in AEW. So, like, let's just wait for him to improve on this department. And so after the face-to-face with Wardlow and Sky, we get Mark Sterling's mini feud with Wardlow about all the security guards that Wardlow has beaten up, and he decides to settle this like a civilized person does. He arranges a match pitting all of the security guards, like about 20, versus Wardlow for next week's Dynamite, I think. And it's gonna be insane. Roman Reigns has never looked this strong ever. Wardlow's gonna be facing 20 dudes. So yeah, that's gonna be fun. It's gonna serve as a nice, like, intermediary feud for Wardlow. It's gonna keep him heated while we wait for Scorpio's injury to heal. And I'm predicting like a feud with Sammy before he gets to Scorp, so we'll see. I'm definitely expecting some shenanigans after the match against the 20 security guards next week. So after this is like a backstage segment between the Bucks. Like initially the Bucks are talking, they want a shot at the tag team titles, but then the Hardys come in, they point out that they beat the Bucks at Double or Nothing, and then Christian, Jungle Boy, and Luchasaurus come in, and Christian just starts some shit. This guy mentions that Matt pinned Jungle Boy, like in front of his family, basically embarrassing him. Jungle Boy responds with a stink eye, and then Christian elevates this further to the ire of Jungle Boy by challenging the Bucks and the Hardys to a match that made them household names, a match that made the Bucks fans, and then like he teases that it's gonna be a TLC match, but then he says ladder. And I'm kind of glad that it's a ladder match since we're just gonna get it next week on a special Dynamite. TLC should be saved for the next pay-per-view. I think it's All In too. But yeah, it got everyone, including like the people on Twitter and the people in the fight chat. This one popped them hard. So I'm kind of in the middle between this and the Page segment as the best non-wrestling segment, but I'll have to go with the Page one since it's higher stakes. And he's a lot better on the mic. So after this is a match that I don't want to rewatch. I'm not even gonna review this anymore. Just know that this is terrible. Marina Shafir is not ready for TV. I don't think she's a good wrestler yet. This match went too long, and this one kind of buried Thunder Rosa along with Shafir. This match makes us doubt that she's a good wrestler because it was fucking terrible. Like, the timing was off. Marina was like moving like she was in molasses. It's a terrible match. And you know what? I think Rosa could have had a better match with the DDT doll. The one that Kota Ibushi wrestled, like it's a well-known match on YouTube. I think the doll's name is like Yoshihiko. And they didn't even give Rosa the clean win against a clearly not ready wrestler. She got a roll-up, and after this, after Rosa won, Marina attacks her, and she has to be saved by Toni Storm, the next challenger, who like holds up the belt and like effectively challenges Rosa. So yeah, this didn't make Rosa look any better. In my opinion, this is like a net negative. And her next challenger is Toni Storm, which I don't know how this will work. They're both faces, and I'm kind of doubting Toni Storm's in-ring skills now because of the match that she had with Britt Baker. So yeah, it's not looking good for Rosa's championship reign, and yeah, I just want things to be better for her and her championship reign because people are hating on her right now. They're sort of viewing Jade Cargill as like the major champion for the women. So to segue to the next segment, to rub salt on the wound for Thunder Rosa fans, what comes after this is the baddies all cutting promos. This one was pretty generic. They all sounded okay. Stokley Hathaway stole the show, but the content of this promo is a bit shit because Statlander has already beaten Red Velvet, and they did this thing where they said nobody can beat Red Velvet when that's factually false. So this was a bit pointless. This could have been replaced with a better promo content-wise for Jade. And yeah, the cut the shit thing is being overused when it's not appropriate, because how she uses it here is as they're leaving, he just tells Tony to cut the shit, and that doesn't make sense. It's just getting forced and annoying now, and yeah, I'm kind of not liking Jade Cargill. Like, go away, Heat, because it's just getting cringy. And finally, for the main event, Jon Moxley versus Kyle O'Reilly to determine one of the competitors on Forbidden Door for the interim AEW Championship. So the first 5 minutes of this match was like not very impactful. I hated the first 5 minutes. With the camera angles we got, most of their hits looked very, very fake. Like, clearly, Mox was punching O'Reilly on like the guardrail, like while leaning on the guardrail, and then in front of the fans, he like softballed all of his hits. They don't even look like they connected. And then after this, while Mox was draped on the apron, O'Reilly did like this sort of leg attack that looked so bad. It looked so fake. But after the 5-minute mark, everything looked a lot better. Starting with some protected headbutts, and also this sick spot where I think I've seen this before somewhere, but Kyle O'Reilly is biting the rope, and then Mox just kicks the fucking rope. This looks fucking painful, like for real, like in a shoot. I don't know why anyone would take this spot here. But yeah, I like the strike battles. It's the usual Kyle O'Reilly strike battle where everything goes insane, everything goes to shit. They just hit each other without defending themselves. And yeah, spots of the match. Number one spot of the match has to be the rope kick spot. It's like next level painful, I think. Next is when O'Reilly had Mox in like a leg lock. Mox just like grabbed his teeth, followed by a punch. So yeah, O'Reilly sold the teeth, but he didn't sell it like all the way till the end. He should have sold some jaw. And as for selling, Mox didn't sell his left leg all the way, which minuses points to this match. And then I forgot to say the number 3 spot of the match. It's when Mox was attempting a Gotch-style piledriver. O'Reilly counters this with like a triangle choke, a Hell's Gate, but Mox escapes. So yeah. So for the finish of the match, this made Kyle O'Reilly look pretty strong because Mox had to do a succession of moves. So first, he goes for the Bulldog choke. He gets it on for a couple of seconds. And then he transitions this to like knees to the head. And then a Regal knee before getting the Death Rider. Or Paradigm Shift. Depends on what you're watching. It's going to be called the Death Rider when he gets back to New Japan. So that was the show. These are my match rankings. And I don't think this was better than last week's show. Audio problems and the crowd being like pretty much like Corpus Christi did not help this show. So yeah, I'm finally done with the fucking review. I've been sick this entire time. I've had to like record this like hours after each take because sometimes I would just have to like go to sleep because either my head would hurt too much or the fever would be too high and just take me out. So yeah, so that's it for the review. So let's move on to the ratings. And as for the ratings, there's not really much to say. AEW is number 1 on original cable telecasts. They're probably going to be like number 2 if the NBA was on here, but the NBA instead was an official broadcast national. So yeah. So a great week for AEW. It was lower than last week, the demo and the total viewers, but I mean, at least they're finally number 1 again. And I can't wait for the NBA Finals to end with Boston winning so that we'll finally get AEW where it belongs. With over 1 million viewers, a high 18 to 49 demographic, and number one on cable telecasts, and even maybe in broadcast nationals, if they make it that far. So that's the end of the review. I hope you enjoyed the video. You better, because I was sick making this. So like, comment, and subscribe. Share if you don't know me. Hit that bell notification for any future videos, and please, watch my shit.